Hello and welcome. This is It's Always About Love, and I'm life coach Lee Evans. I'm here with psychotherapist Lynn Lara. Lynn has been in private practice for many years, and today she brings all of that experience and wisdom to help you. We are here to answer your relationship questions. It's our desire to help you and make what you learn from this podcast usable in your life right now. Do you have anything troubling you? Send us an email to its always about love, the number 1 at gmail.com. Now let's get started. Are you there, Lynn?
I am, Lee. I'm right here with 3 animals watching my every move.
I hear the cat.
You hear the cat. I was thinking about it as you were reading the introduction, because when I used to do the video on YouTube, I didn't have a cat. But we did have 2 dogs. We just didn't have a cat. But now we have 2 dogs and a cat. And the cat just makes noise if he wants to. He's a big cat. Okay. Hi, Lee.
Hi.
Want me to read one of the 2 letters you've singled out?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. I think I'll do that. I'm seeing a married man now and again. The reason it's only now and again is because we live miles apart. Oh, excuse me, it said Dear Lynn and Lee. I'm seeing a married man now and again. The reason it's only now and again, seeing a married man. Okay. The reason it's only now and again is because we live miles apart from each other, but we talk on the phone 3 times a day. He tells me he doesn't love his wife and he's only there for his kids. He tells me they don't talk much to each other when they are both at home. He tells me he loves me, and when he's with me, he doesn't want the feeling he has to stop. I am told how I am special and wonderful. It makes me feel so good inside. I have fallen so deep in love with him, and it's hurting so much I can't walk away. I love him, although I know he will never leave his wife. I know what I'm involved in is wrong, and I don't want to cause any broken hearts. But I don't think this is my doing, as it takes 2. And I did start out to intend to fall. Oh, I did start out. Yeah, it says. And I did start out to intend to fall in love with him.
Oh.
Do you think she means I didn't start out?
That's what I'm thinking. Yes. I didn't. Maybe I didn't start out to.
That says I did, though. Okay. Yeah. I had a boyfriend before I met him, but I ended it with him because I knew when I met him I was doing something wrong.
She must be the person that she's with, the married man now. When she met the married man.
No.
No?
No, I don't. Well, that's not what she says. She said, but I ended with him, the boyfriend.
Right.
Because I knew when I met him I was doing something wrong.
This him, I think, might be the married man him, possibly?
Well, you hope so. That's not what it says, Lee. Let's just let it go. Okay. I just feel so all alone right now, and I don't have a life because I sit waiting for my cell phone to ring. The thought of losing a call from him makes me mad. I have lost contact with most of my friends and have not spent much time with my sisters. I am just existing at the moment. It seems my life is consumed around just him. Please give me advice. It will be most welcomed, and thanks for reading. That's it. What do you think, Lee?
Well, first off, he's a married man. That's first off. And then I'm wondering, when does he get the time to talk 3 times on the phone a day? Um, Now I know why he doesn't communicate much with his wife. Uh, she says that it makes her feel good inside because she's hearing these nice things from him. But then I think, what about the wife? Um, but she feels like she's doing something wrong. So she's already telling us, or I feel that she's telling us that something is wrong. This is wrong. And since she says that, it is my recommendation that she stop now.
Oh, but she doesn't want to, Lee.
I know she doesn't want to, but she's telling me, I'm hearing that she doesn't want to cause or break hearts or whatever. So she's got contradiction
Lee,
in
by
things
the way,
going on.
she really isn't saying that she knows she's doing something wrong with him. She said that about her boyfriend. I ended it with my boyfriend because I knew when I met him I was doing something wrong. Maybe she just left a sentence out or something because it doesn't make sense. But go ahead. I just wanted to point that out because we're reading something into it she hasn't said, but we're assuming she knows.
Okay, well, I'm
Okay.
reading it. I'm also reading it, and it goes up. I have back to I have fallen so deep in love with him, and it's hurting so much I can't walk away. I love him, although I know he will never leave his wife. I know what I'm involved in is wrong, and I don't want to cause any broken hearts. That's where I'm getting it from.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. She's saying, I know what I'm involved in is wrong. If she's already got that feeling or already senses that or thinks that, then she is really hurting her own self, her own
You know,
integrity by staying in something that she feels that way about.
Lee,
What?
but she knows he's not going to be with her.
That's true. Um, that's true, and I know that there's probably a lot of people that could say they've been in situations similar to this. Um, but I'm thinking, in fact, I went to an appointment, a doctor's appointment today, and there was a person there, and she was talking about that she hasn't been in a relationship for 6 years, and she said because she keeps getting involved with these people that come to find out they're using fake names. She told me if I was ever to get involved with somebody, I better check their ID to make sure they are who they say they are,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was kind of
Oh,
funny.
you mean online? Are you talking about online?
No, in person,
Uh,
because of what she had happened to her. But she said that the last relationship she was in, she stopped it because she just felt that that what was going on wasn't right for her. She was better than that. She deserved someone better. She deserved a better situation. So that's what I'm trying to say here. I believe she's thinking that she's involved in something that's wrong. Somewhere inside herself, she knows these circumstances and that he's not going to leave his wife, but somewhere inside herself, she wants something better.
yes, I'm sure she wants him.
Okay. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to give it to you.
Okay. Darn it. My letter just went off. Okay, I'm back on now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. She says she knows he's not going to leave his wife. I don't think they're having physical contact. I think it's on the phone.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they are. And I think that I don't know. She didn't, we live miles apart from each other, but we talk on the phone 3 times a day. So, gosh darn it. This is hard. I mean, she's going to get hurt, Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy has nothing invested in leaving his wife. I mean, married men always say they're staying for the children. That's such a standard thing to say. Once in a blue moon, it's true, but not very often. It's usually because they don't want to leave their wife or their children. And she's the one who's going to get hurt.
Right.
She's lost almost all her friends.
And it sounds like her family, because of her not spending time with her
sisters.
sisters.
So is that because she's seeing a married man and her family and friends are feeling judgmental about it? There are things that she's not answering that would be helpful to know, but it's plain and simple. She's going to get hurt. How long? And she doesn't say how long this has been going on.
No.
So they talk on the phone 3 times a day. Also, it doesn't sound then as if she has a job, a daytime job. So, oh dear.
Well, I agree with you that she's going to get hurt.
She is. I've fallen so deeply in love with him, and it's hurting so much, I can't walk away. But, Lee, if you tell her, walk away, she's not going to. She's lost her friends and her family.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's, and it's only an assumption, but I'm assuming that's because they are either she's not doing anything with them because she's wrapped up in him, but she can see them at night or see them during the day. She could do that. So I got the idea that maybe they didn't want to be, but that's my assumption. I don't know. She's going to get hurt, Lee.
Yes.
The guy's a jerk. He has no reason to leave his wife, and she doesn't say that they're ever together or that they're having sex, although people usually have phone sex. Yes, they can do that.
Oh. I didn't even think about that.
What? That's because you're innocent.
Oh, yes. Yes, I am very innocent. Interesting.
So she had a boyfriend before she met him, but she ended it with him because she wanted this fellow.
Right.
You know what I'd like to know? Listen, listener, sweetheart. I'd like to know if you've been involved with married men before, because it may be a pattern for you. A lot of people, when they get involved with men or women who really are not available to them. Have you run a check on him, listener? Have you run a check on him? You might, that would be good. That's what I'm going to recommend. I'd like you to spend the money to run a check on him. This is something, maybe he's in prison.
Wow.
Maybe he's, he could be, Lee.
That's true. Okay.
Yep. And that would make sense as to why he can't come be with you, because he might be in prison. I want to recommend that you run a check on him. At least we can ask you to do that. Because what you're saying is you're not gonna leave him. So Lee says, well, you got to, but you're not going to. You've already said it. So there's no sense in us. And you're saying, please give me advice. It will be most welcome. No, it will not be most welcome. You're a sweetheart, but you don't really want our advice. You already know what we're going to say. And the reason that we're going to say it is not just about the fact that he's saying he's married. I'm not sure he is, honey. But also is that, and you may not even have his right name. Ah, boy, is because you can get hurt, and you know that that's true. But you know how we feel about that. Your family already feels that way, I'm assuming, and it will not be most welcomed. I promise you, it won't be. But what I want you to do is spend the money. What does it cost? $30 or something, Lee?
I don't know.
Oh, you're so innocent.
I
don't know.
know. I don't know.
Anyway, it costs like $20, $30.
Okay.
Spend the money. I don't know that, Lee. I'm saying that.
Okay.
I'm innocent too. Spend the money and run a check on him and find out who he is and where he is. You say we live miles away from each other. I don't know that you know very much at all about him. So, listener, that's my advice. You said, give me advice, it will be most welcomed. That's my advice, and it wasn't what you thought it was going to be.
It wasn't
Okay?
what I thought was going to be.
And then, would you write back to us and let us know what's going on? Because we want to know. Don't we, Lee?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting that either. And when you're talking about spending the 20 or 30 to do a check, are we talking about something that can be done online?
Yeah.
Oh, online. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, I see them advertised all the time. And that's at least something you can do, listener. That's something you can do to find out who you're involved with. You are deeply involved. Your whole life is around someone who you really don't know and have never seen face to face. Now I'm thinking about a client I had back when, and she was flying to see this fellow, flying to see him. She got off the plane. He was there waiting to see her, and he was thrilled to see her. She took one look at him and said, "Sorry, you're not for me," and turned around and said she got back on that plane as quick as she could. She couldn't have done that, but she had no intention. She just said, I'd never seen him. I saw him, and there was no way that he was who I thought he was.
Wow.
So,
but I love those stories that you tell.
It's true. And the other thing was it cost her a lot of money. So,
wow.
Anyway, and she said she was just so shocked. He had described himself very, very differently. And she just said, there's no way I could have ever been attracted to him. Okay. So, how about the next letter? Would you like? And listener, we're glad you wrote, honey. We really are. And you know, I don't think if we'd said stop seeing him, that would have helped. I think you need to get some information. And I don't think you would have done it because probably your family's told you and everybody else. But you need to find out who the heck you're involved with. Love you lots, honey, and thank you for writing. Let me see. Okay, you want me to read the second letter? I want to. I'm having fun.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay?
Sure.
I don't know what it is, though. Let's see. Oh, little. Let's see. Okay. Dear counselor, I've been with my husband for 11 years. We've been married for 3 years. We're both in our early 30s. Before we were married, things were fine. Boy, haven't we heard that before and haven't we lived it? That's true. It's sweet. Okay. Things were fine. We were building a home together, getting along, going out, and making love regularly. Okay. However, things seem to change. Lee, you give me interesting letters. These are the letters that Lee chooses. So, because we're getting so that we get more than just a couple. Now we're getting lots. We're so pleased, you guys, that you care about us and you like to write to us. However, things seem to change after we married. We seem to be stuck into a routine. We get up and go to work. We come home. We cook the dinner. We go to bed. We get up, and so it goes. We don't seem to talk as much as we used to. We have more arguments. Let's see, how long? 11 years they've been together, married for 3 years. Okay. We don't seem to talk as much as we used to. We have more arguments. Things have been like this now for a few years, literally since we got married. My confidence has taken a bit of a knock, and on occasion I've even wanted to be touched or even hugged by anybody. I've spoken to my husband a number of times about this and how it's making me feel. It took a while, but he seems to have gotten the message now. I don't know that I did. We both want the same things out of life and out of our marriage, but we can't get out of this rut we're in. Each day that goes by, where things haven't improved, I feel is making the situation worse. There are outside pressures as well. We both have very demanding jobs, and family and friends tell us it's time to start a family. I've even tried to convince myself that I don't want kids. Tell us to start a family. That I don't want kids so that I'm not disappointed when I don't have them. This seems to have led my friends thinking I'm odd for not wanting them and selfish, yet it's more acceptable for a man to say that. Truth be told, I'm also terrified of childbirth, and if I don't confront it, it will stop me from having children. We need to put our marriage back on track before this. I don't know if everyone goes through this at some point in their relationship, or whether I'm putting too much pressure on both of us to have a perfect marriage and it's working against me. Maybe we need to fall for each other again. Well, that was a good piece of advice. For each other. That's what she means.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we need to fall for each other again. Okay. Any help? Oh, a lot of our people say any help. Are they all coming from the same? Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Maybe that's just the way you talk to people when you write to them online. What do you think, Lee?
She gave her own suggestion. They need to fall for each other again. They need to focus on working on that aspect of the relationship. But I also hear something that she's got questions about having children too. So, or going through childbirth. And I have an experience that I remember from my childhood. I was living with I'm not sure who I was living with because my memory is not that good anymore on my childhood, but I remember that whoever we were with, their daughter was getting ready to have a baby, so they threw me in the back of the car, and I know I was very young, very, very young. And they threw her in the back of the car with me as they drove off to the hospital. And she started to have the baby on my lap, and they told me to help her. And I tell you what, she was screaming so loud that it terrified me. And I was terrified of having children myself because of that experience.
Wait, who was in the front seat?
I believe possibly the mother and whoever was driving the car. They were in the front seat. I was in the
Where was your mom?
I don't know. I was living with other people.
Oh, what an abusive thing to do. How old were you?
I had to be really, really young. Really young. Under 5 or under.
Of course you were terrified. What a horrible thing to do to a child. One of those adults They needed to stop the car, put an adult back there, and put you up in the front seat. That's horrible, Lee.
Well, that when I read
Would,
this, or when you read this, and I see this terrified of childbirth, that just really stuck out at me. Terrified of
okay.
childbirth.
Honey, when we're done with the program and you've uploaded it and everything, I want you to spend some time with your child and tell her how horrible that was. In fact, if we have some time, I don't think we do. I want you to spend some time and help her heal from that.
Okay.
Okay? Because that's horrible. I can't believe that adults would do that to a little girl. Oh my God. That's wrong, Lee. That's wrong. Okay. Listen to the person who sent this note. Listen, honey. One of the things that you're not saying is what you've done to make your marriage happy. So I want you to begin to have special dinner for him when he gets home, or I don't know, buy him flowers. What, Lee? What are some nice things? I'd say that, put on a negligee. I guess you can do that. Sure, why not?
I think your
I don't know.
chocolate cake. You say when we were talking about online dating, you were saying about in your profile to put something that you do good, that you make, that you cook. And if you don't know how, learn how. Well, I think maybe that would be something to apply right here.
Okay, well, you can make cake.
Cake.
Lee wants you to make a cake for him. I want you to do things. I want you to take him out for dinner. I want you to go out. I want you to do things that you would want him to do for you, because you can be the one who does them. It doesn't have to be him who starts it. And start finding something every single day that you can tell him that you like about him. You start appreciating him. And I want you to really begin to appreciate him. Okay, Lee?
Okay.
Because it's all on him and you're thinking about leaving him. Maybe she doesn't say that. And wait for a family. Just wait. Start on this. You don't need the load of a family right now yet. It'll be fine. But I want you start thinking of things that are fun to do and then take them with you. What's the movie I saw yesterday, Lee?
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner year for 2049.
Right.
If you guys like science fiction, that's a good movie. Go see movies. Start doing things. I know you're tired, but we want to save your relationship. We want you to have fun, and we want you to, that's more important than being tired all the time. Okay, Lee?
Okay. Does she need to address her inner child also? Because maybe there's something in her past that has caused her to be terrified of childbirth also. I'm going to a different venue.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank you for bringing that up. Everybody's scared of having a child. First time around. Everybody's scared. Lee, what happened to you is awful. That is not what happens. But Lee's concerned about you, listener. So what she wants is for you to do something and work with your little girl inside of you, in case that's why you're afraid of having a child. Everybody's scared. Thank you, Lee, for bringing that up. What I want to tell you is that today's childbirth is nothing like 10, 20 years ago's childbirth. They've got great medication and they can do a cesarean, and you won't feel that either. There are lots of things that they do, and you need to talk about that when you get pregnant, if you decide to, or go see your OBGYN, which is your women's doctor, and talk with them about your fear of having a child. That's okay. Go ahead and do that and find out. They'll tell you what having a child is like now. Back when, first of all, Lee's experience was one with someone who had no medication. And also she was a little girl. I cannot believe that those two people in the front seat left a child there. That is so wrong. That is so abusive. I can't believe that happened to you, listener, or anything like it. So that's why I didn't think we better ask you. Everybody's afraid of having a child the first time around. And you know what shows that it isn't that bad? They have another child.
Right.
If it was so horrible, they wouldn't have two. Holly?
That's true. Yes.
Yep. So it isn't that horrible. It really isn't. And today, it really isn't, as opposed to 20 years ago. I promise you. I promise you, listener. However, I want you to make your marriage fun and have a good time, and you begin to be the person who comes up with the ideas of things you want to do. Have couples over to have dinner with you. I don't know. What are some other fun things, Lee?
You've named some really good ones. And
You've named some really good ones.
I'm trying to think. Really, it's movies, going out to eat,
Yeah,
finding other couples to come join you, go join them.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
so go out maybe to a local park. Not that all guys are going to want to do that. So you'll have to experiment. You'll just have to throw it out there, experiment. Go out for ice cream. Go around here we
Good.
have Sonics, and you don't have to even go in. You just park, and they have happy hour at Sonics. So I mean that sounds good to me. And it's summertime right now, still here where I'm at. So that sounds
What's
good.
Sonics? What is Sonics?
Sonics is like
Are you talking about?
A&W root beer.
Okay, okay. We have Sonics here too. I thought you were talking about the name of a football game a football team or a baseball team or something.
Sports is another thing.
And then you were saying, and you don't even have to go in. And I went, okay.
What?
Anyway,
They're drive-throughs or
honey,
drive-ups.
it's your job. It's your job, listener. It's your job. Not his right now. It's yours. Fall in love with him again. Buy him a present. Go buy him a present.
And you can buy them
There's
flowers,
lots of
just
them.
like Lynn said. I mean, a lot of guys have never had flowers given to them ever. It'll be a big surprise. I'll guarantee that. It'll be a big surprise.
Lee, oh my gosh, I was looking at the wrong time. Lee, we're way over time. Do you know that?
I know it, so it's time to end. Thank you, listeners.
Jeez, we're way over. I had the wrong hand. I was looking at the wrong hand. Gosh darn. Okay.
This has been a very good show today. Thank you. Lynn, I mean, wow. This was some good things, and some of the answers and suggestions you made and recommendations I never even thought of. So thank you so much. We will be back tomorrow, Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. So until then, remember, it's always
about love.
And we love you.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Good night.
We do. And I love you too, Lee.
And I love you too, Lynn. Good night, everyone.